And just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You have something to say, but people are terrified of the blank page. But what you need to do is have an avatar of who you need to reach. Before you can weaponize your content, you need to know who the content is for. And then you want to give that person something of value. This gets around the writer's block all the time. Because the reason that you're afraid when you look at a blank page or you go, okay, what am I going to record on my video? You don't have an idea of who that video is for, who that article is for, who that webinar is for. It's like, okay, it's for salespeople. Yeah, but you could say, I'm doing a video for salespeople in healthcare. And here's 2 minutes on getting to the decision maker at hospitals. And you can do your 2-minute video on that because you know who you're speaking to and you're helping them that way. Because I can give a lot of generic advice on how to do things. And Greg, I'm going to get to your question in a minute there, Greg. I can give you a lot of generic advice on how to do things. If this was an audience of 500 people that had disparate needs and disparate kind of goals, but because I know your speakers, I'm delivering content for speakers. If you know who your avatar is of your ideal client, you're delivering content for them. It makes everything so much easier. If you go, okay, so I'm writing a blog today for sales guys who are now working from home. That's my blog. I know who it's for. I know what their situation is. So then the next problem is, what is the issue from the sales guys working from home? So there's the issue. How do I leverage my genius to answer why, how do I leverage my genius to address that issue? And then let's put a little call to action in there. So there you go. Salespeople who work from home, who have problem A, here's the solution to problem A based on my experience. Hey, if you want to learn more, give me a call. Right? Very simple. You've identified the avatar. You're speaking to an individual and not just kind of writing something and hoping that it's going out there. The metaphor I would use is one way is fishing. That's where you're just writing generic content. You're throwing it out there and you're just kind of sitting there, drinking your beer, hoping that something bites. Or you're going hunting, right? So you're going hunting, you've got something in the target, and you go and you've got and you go, I'm not a hunter. I've never picked up a gun. I have no idea what. But it's a metaphor that seems to work. Now, what is the best piece of content you've ever produced? Well, I've been producing content for 30 years, but the best piece of content I've ever produced would have to be, I wrote a blog post about 5 years ago, and it was called How Professional Speakers Can Earn $10,000 a Gig. And I'm sure you all want to know how professional speakers earn $10,000 a gig. I don't even have to run a poll. I can tell you want to know. But the answer is very simple. You earn it when you convince people you're worth it. And I wrote an entire blog piece about this, and I put it on LinkedIn, and I believe I got about 5,000 people liking and sharing and reading that piece. So that was a really impactful piece. It went so well that a few years later I rewrote the piece and updated it a bit.